everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to week 4 of Diabetes Awareness Month. This month flew by so quickly, I don't even know how I can wrap my head around how fast time flies at this point. So I'm trying something different with how my camera is set up. I'm still in the same boring background, but I'm trying to back the camera up. I feel like when I sit down and do these, I'm literally sitting cross-legged, but I feel like I'm always slunched over, or it doesn't look right, and I feel like I want more of my head and face and, like, I don't know, kind of like here up in the video. So I'm kind of messing with things, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad. But anyways, we'll jump right into the last 8 questions of Reba Redmond's Instagram challenge. And again, if I remember, I will link anything I share that I've shared previously down below in videos, or anything that I would mention as far as like referencing somebody else. And again, Reba's Instagram is always linked down below for this month. So with that being said, we'll jump right into this video. So here we go with the last 8 questions. The first one is favorite hypo treatment. Now, in other countries, they call those hypos, which is technically the term. Hypoglycemia literally means hypo, meaning low. Glycemia means sugar, so low sugar in blood. So what is my favorite thing to eat when my blood sugar is low? Well, that would depend on the situation. Now, most of the time I treat with either juice or Skittles because it will raise my blood sugar rather quickly. However, I have used Starburst, glucose tablets, gummy bears in the past. However, with those, because I like them more as treats, I tend to overeat them, and then we're going to have an issue with double arrows headed up on my Dexcom, and then I'm going to have to fight every waking second how to get that blood sugar down. So I pretty much stick with Skittles and juice. Juice mainly for overnight because my lows, if I have any lows, they're overnight, and they're usually low, and they're not like just barely low. They are low, and I need something like that to pick them up. Another good option is the glucose revival necklace. I do wear that when I exercise. And then the other one is a really good option is glucose SOS. Again, just powdered glucose you can put inside. Now, I know some people use other weird things like potato chips, chocolate milk. Personally for me, I know potato chips would not work in a situation that I was that dire. I have had regular soda when I've been at a restaurant with my family and I've had nothing on me. Shame on Maddie for not carrying something at that time. But I didn't have anything to treat a low, and I was getting pretty low before our food came, and I pre-bolused too long. So I said to my mother, could I please have some of your regular soda? That makes me sick. Like, I took it just because I had to, and it worked, but regular soda is just sick. Like, makes me sick. It's just like, ugh. Not to mention how, like, syrupy and stuff it is. I have used honey in the past when my lows have gotten really dangerous, things like that. Some of you have treated with, like, chocolates and stuff, which I guess you can if the low is not so severe and you know it's gonna go up, but try to stick with super sugary things, and that's what works. But I would say Skittles or juice are probably my 2 top favorite things that I like to have when my blood sugar is low. If that guest appearance by my Tinkerbell. Come on, say hello, say hi. Hello, Chunk. One of my fur babies cannot stand it when I film a video without her. So, again, cat's tail walks by, ring light comes into my shot, you know exactly who to blame. So, let's continue on with this. Number 2, diabetes and exercise. My assumption is this prompt wants me to explain what I do in those situations. Now, my work is very much full-blown, like, it's very physically hard on my body. Control IQ honestly has made dealing with exercise, whether it's like purposely from my work or when I'm mowing grass, shoveling snow, out for a walk, running around, playing with kids, like it, Control IQ has made that so easy for me, because if it would predict my blood sugar would go down and would auto suspend insulin, prior to me having like Control IQ or being a little more manually controlling, with my basal bolus type dosing, I would typically, if I was going to do something real long term, I would eat something beforehand to try to see if I can keep my blood sugar up. Or I would go for my exercise or whatever the case may be and carry glucose tablets or juice with me. And if my blood sugar would head down, I'd eat something. And then I think with the Omnipod, I did stuff like shut my basal off or reduce my basal. If I remember correctly, And again, I don't remember too much from the Avipod just because I never had the most positive experience with that insulin pump. But anyways, also Tandem has a feature, an exercise feature. I believe that if you set it for so long, it'll reduce basal for X and X amount of hours. I know if I do super heavy induced exercise, my grandma's yard is very much like an all-terrain yard, heavy hills, ups and downs. When I mow that grass by hand in certain areas, I have to completely shut my basal off, or I will result in blood sugars that are 40 to 50 something, and it does not feel good, I will tell you that. And it's hard for me when I feel that vibration of that lawnmower that I can't tell if I'm low, and I've actually driven myself to the point of like 40s and 50s when I was first diagnosed, and that was pretty scary. So that's a thing that that is the thing that I would recommend if you're really hypersensitive to low blood sugars or super sensitive, like shut your basals off. Eat something beforehand, things like that. Now, another thing I will tell you, I think I did a video on this a while back. See, my cat is already messing with my ring light. So another video I did a while back, I think I did one on exercise and diabetes. Depending on the exercise that you do will depend on how your blood sugar responds. So sometimes when I do initial strength exercises, things like lifting things, even mowing grass for the first part of it, I will get an adrenaline rush from like making my muscles work super hard. So I might get a little bit of a spike, but then as that cardiovascular kicks in, my blood sugar will start to drop. So more strength-induced exercises will have a tendency to either not do anything to a blood sugar or slightly raise you. I think I've noticed as I've gone on, it hasn't done much for raising anymore since Control IQ will kick in. But cardiovascular typically will drop because you're forcing your body to use that energy and push that insulin to push that sugar into your cells so that your cells can fully metabolize the glucose for energy and keep your body thriving. So cardiovascular exercise will have a tendency to decrease you down. That's why a recommendation, if your blood sugars are high but not high enough to have ketones, that you go and exercise to get them to go down. So that's my 2 cents on diabetes and exercise. I hope that made sense. Prompt 3 is diabetic hero, heroine, human. Aren't we all diabetic heroine, human heroes? I totally messed that up. Hero, heroine, human. Hero, is that the masculine term? Heroine. Not the drug heroin, but I'm thinking heroine is the feminine version of this. Yes, it is. And then human, like we're all humans, so like I guess. Honestly, if you live with a disease like this, you are a hero because you are showing the world that you can fight this no matter what life throws at you, whether it is an emotional strain, a financial strain, a family strain, or whatever you're going through. Like, you can fight through it. Like, my college life was not easy with this disease, and I'm still here, and I made it through, and I have my dream job. Getting up and sharing this kind of stuff on YouTube is not easy, but here I am displaying myself here for the world to see, and I've got nothing really but positivity. Now, do I get some negativity? Oh yeah, sure, I absolutely do, and I just have to learn to deal with that. But truly, I can't put my finger on a true hero. The only hero that I will tell you that I have fully is, number 1, God, but number 2, Banting. He is our hero because he is the only, him and another scientist, they are the ones that we owe our lives to because they discovered and figured out that insulin is what causes that glucose to go from the bloodstream into the cells for energy, and that is what us as type 1 diabetics are lacking and no longer can produce because of an autoimmune system function, basically, system malfunction. So we truly owe a lot to Banting and his other co-scientists. They are our heroes because before that, type 1 diabetes was a death sentence, if that makes sense. Number 4, favorite T1D podcast. Now, there's a lot of recent ones that have come out that I've watched, but my first one that I ever subscribed to and I still listen to is the Juice Box podcast. Scott does an amazing job showing diabetics with a bunch of different guests, whether they're diabetics themselves, diabetes educators, on how to be bold with insulin, how to not be scared of insulin, how to use pre-bolusing and basals to your advantage, how to use an insulin pump and a Dexcom to your advantage. how to achieve normal blood sugars as possible and still live your life and not feel limited in what you can and can't do or can and can't eat. Absolutely recommend Juicebox Podcast. I live for the Juicebox Podcast. Scott is amazing, and his daughter Arden is amazing, okay? I think Arden has been living with diabetes for a long time. I think she's been 10 plus years, and she's now probably close to graduating high school. So I think he started this back when she was probably, maybe 9, 10 years old, maybe 11 when they got, I think they have a diabetic alert dog. Don't quote me on it. It's been a little bit since I've seen some of the more recent podcasts, so I don't know exactly what's going on in their life, and I'm not here to make a whole life video on them and draw attention to them in any way, shape, or form. But he started that podcast quite a few years ago, and I know now she's got to be close to end of high school, beginning of college, and it's incredible of how far he and his daughter have come in as far as managing her diabetes together, and how she has now taken more of the reins versus him. But as a non-diabetic, he figured out how to best take care of his daughter from a very young age. So love the Juicebox Podcast. Number 5, Blue Friday. And as a matter of fact, it is Friday when I'm filming this video, day after Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday, and I hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving, but I am wearing blue. It's kind of a dark tie-dye blue. Maybe I can tip my camera down and show you. So this is like a kind of a dark and light and white tie-dye blue, but it's actually a dental theme shirt that says it's a beautiful day to save smiles, as well as the fact that on the back of my shirt it also says the same thing. It's a beautiful day to save smiles, as well as my pants say it's a beautiful day to save smiles. So I am rocking something dental and diabetes related, but the color blue represents diabetes awareness, and which is actually, it kind of holds kind of a special place in my heart because blue was always my favorite color from a very young age. Blue is still one of my favorite colors, but it is like neck and neck with purple now. So, and I'm also wearing a blue watch band, but it also has a tooth on it, and it has my name engraved on it. So anyways, I'm supporting blue for diabetes awareness for the last day here of the last Friday of Diabetes Awareness Month. So yay, blue diabetes and Blue Friday. Number 6 is diabetes and technology. Now, I don't know if, I mean, I wear a Dexcom and a tandem, have a tandem insulin pump. So diabetes and technology to me has what's made my control much easier. And I think a lot of you can say the same, especially a continuous glucose monitor. If I had to give up one of my diabetes technology pieces, it would be my pump. I could live without it and go back to shots. I will never ever give up a continuous glucose monitor no matter what situation I get in, because it gives me so much power and knowledge of what my blood sugar is and where it's headed, and so that I can make the best decision for my diabetes management. I've had really good A1C control because of having this technology, and I can only see as time progresses that this technology is only going to get better and make it closer and closer for us to have that cure that we're so excited for and that we're so hoping for. And I still hang on to that. I hang on to it more so for the generation after me, but if it would come in my lifetime, I would certainly think that would be the coolest thing. But I don't know how I would react to it because I've been so used to living with this disease for over 3 years that I think I'd be a bit confused. But diabetes and technology is a huge thing, and don't take it for granted. And when things don't work and go your way, you might get a little frustrated. You might have to go back to finger sticks. You might have to go back to injections, but that's part of living with diabetes. So you kind of have to know how to use the technology to your advantage, but then also have that backup plan, if that makes sense. Prompt 7, liquor wipe. I like this prompt. So this is asking you, what do you do after you prick your finger? Do you lick your finger after you're done? Or do you wipe it? And I am a big wiper, okay? If I prick my finger and I have a drop of blood sitting there, I don't lick it because, ew. But I think I may have done like maybe once or twice I've licked my own blood. That's not something I do. And I'm not against anybody that wants to do it. Like, it's not going to hurt you. It's your own blood. But I worry about, like, did I pick up a head cold or something in my fingers and I lick my fingers and it's like, ew. I'm a wiper. So I don't always wipe on a napkin or a paper toweling or a tissue or an alcohol swab when I have blood. I am a classic, Maddie's got a drop of blood. Let's wipe it right on her shirt. So it'll be funny because I'll go to wash my clothing and I'll see all these little tiny like blood dots and I'm like, Diabetes, yeah, cool. I just took a finger poke and wiped it wherever, and it'll come out in the wash. I don't worry about it, even if it's like not bleached, because it's like blood's it's a natural stain. It'll come out, like it's not a big deal. So I'm very much a wiper. Like I will wipe it anywhere, on my pants, on my shirt, on whatever. I've even wiped my own blood on my own self just to like wipe it off. So then I have all these blood streaks, kind of like little marks all over my wrist and stuff. So I'm very much a wiper. And then the last one is beyond diabetes. I cannot emphasize it enough. Live beyond this disease, because this disease will never define you if you don't let it. Don't let it stop you from doing what you want. Don't let any doctor, medical professional, or person tell you you can't do X, Y, or Z because of this disease. Do not let anything or anyone define you. I'm sitting here right now with two of my biggest dreams accomplished and a reality. And to think, if I would have let a autoimmune disease define me, I would not be standing where I am today. And to think that because of this disease, it has given me enough courage and enough vulnerability to be sitting down in front of a camera right now and sharing my life with you in more ways than just diabetes. I've shared a lot more of my personal life as I've gone through living with this disease than I ever would have imagined. This channel has only continued to grow and be a light for everyone. And it's just something that I say it all the time, and I know you guys are probably getting sick and tired of this, but it still blows my mind how many people want to watch me. I just don't I don't get it. It's like this euphoria that I don't understand. Like, it's a good type of feeling like, hey, I've got these people that really do trust me as a real human being with a real generous heart that would do anything for anybody and talk about anything for anybody. I've shared a lot of personal feminine experiences I've gone through, to my journey with dental hygiene school, to when I was physically and mentally burnt out from this disease. I've cried on this YouTube channel, and this whole entire journey has been nothing but a beautiful blessing and a bunch of memories for me that I can look back on and say, hey, look how much I've grown in the last 3 years. And I still look back at some of my old videos, number one, and I laugh, but number two, I'm like, wow, how far have I come? Like, I've always lived my life for others. I've always had a very big and generous heart, but I can only see this grow every single day in myself. It just keeps going and growing and growing and growing in such a good way, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for me. So with that being said, live beyond diabetes. If you want to live beyond diabetes as well, go on Beyond Type 1, and you can see all these awesome people living beyond this disease, and it's a great community to interact with, so I kind of like to add that in there at the end. So anyways, this ends the 4th and final week of Diabetes Awareness Month. Thank you so much for watching these special episodes that I so wanted to do for this special month we call Diabetes Awareness Month. And also know that diabetes awareness does not stop in November. Please continue to advocate all year round for this disease. I spent yesterday at Thanksgiving with a friend family group, and I was able to educate somebody fully on what this disease entails, and he was solely interested in it, and he could not believe how much effort we have to put in and things like that. So continue to take the time. If you have the opportunity and somebody's interested, educate them, show them your devices, show them what it's like to live with a disease like this, because the more we advocate, not only in our circle but on our outside part of our circle, the farther along and further of a chance we have, a higher of a chance we have to gain a cure for this disease. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I think my cat would like some food, and because she keeps looking at me like, feed me, mom. So I'm going to go ahead and feed her, and I'm going to end this video here. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. I post as often as I can about diabetes plus more. Stay tuned. I'm going to go more into some other things in my life that interest me as far as what I like to do on the outside part of beyond working and living with diabetes. So can't wait to put some of those videos up for you guys. Next time for another video. Take care. God bless. Be kind, spread positivity, and be thankful. And I love you all so much. I genuinely mean that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for continuing to make this community amazing and for continuing to support me on this journey. I really do appreciate it so, so much. I will see you guys in my next video. Have a fantastic rest of your day and weekend. I love you all. Bye-bye.